All right. Well, I just pushed us live. We are super fucking early tonight.
Is Cloudy coming? I haven't heard from her since I last spoke with her like 2 hours ago.
She is already in the Twitch chat.
Oh, I meant to check audio. I didn't know if she wanted to do that or not.
Oh, yeah, Cloudy, if you want to, you can join in from that link and we can test your audio, but you're generally pretty good.
Look, I'm representing tonight with my Dreadwolf shirt and my jawbone necklace. I never wear these things together normally. This is just for today.
Oh, right. Don't want to be over the top.
Yes, of course. Don't have an entire podcast dedicated to this kind of thing or anything.
Oh, I know. Cass and Solas have beef. Oh, this is going to be so good.
You think me, the Solus Mancer, doesn't have beef with Solus? I got you, girl. we're right there. We might have different beef.
Okay. And then, actually, this is perfect. Let me do this
Cloudy.
now.
It's only partly cloudy. I can't see you or hear you.
I haven't gotten my room all pretty yet. And I need to change into my Solus outfit. No, I'm kidding. I have a ball cap and everything.
I actually wouldn't put that past you.
No. I think I have too much hair to put under a ball cap. I'd look like Megamind.
That's what I look like when I wear my bonnet to sleep.
I love that I also have a bonnet.
the curly hair demands.
Is the audio approved?
Yes, you sound lovely.
Excellent.
I answered like I have any authority over that.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up now.
Okay.
Oh my god. Sorry, the ads. Okay, bye. I got scared by our own ads.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Beef so hot I can make a burger on his head. Cass, I'm gonna say let's do Loco Moco because that's hamburger and egg.
All right. Yep, that works.
Also, Loco Moco is so good. Gosh, we're still 3 minutes early. What do we do? Did you get wine? I poured a hefty glass.
Oh. That'll get you drunk by the end of the show and you're just going to be ranting.
I think I'll sober up by the end with how long the script is.
No, I don't even think I have wine right now.
Oh, I need to also see you soon in person because I have gifts.
Yes. Oh, hi, Muffin. You know, and it's, what was I saying? What's it talking about? I felt like I was just talking about this. I completely don't even remember where my train of thought was going. Oh, right. Hello. Hello, Apollo. So, Laura, I feel like you're in our Discords all the time. Right. So, Toasty and I recorded on Wednesday, and we did, there's a big robots thing. He did his end of year wrap, where like a whole bunch of the actual network hosts got together and talked about like the year in review and whatnot. And so right after Toasty and I recorded just like a quick little intro. And so my brain was like, okay, quick little intro. We just did a whole big interview. And so I started off with hello, hello. And I was like, oh, wait, totally the wrong show. And it wasn't a bit this time. I was like,
Like, sorry, I genuinely thought.
genuinely started the wrong show.
Seeing as we have a minute left before we should like officially start, I guess, would you mind playing a Sam clip so I can make sure I can hear? Because I most certainly want to hear the clips tonight.
Yes.
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
And an ad
Loud and
break
clear.
starts in 30 seconds, so we will wait for
Perfect
ad
timing.
break to be over. And I love how you said play a Sam clip. It's the only Sam clip.
I know. I was gonna say a clip, and then I was like, well, she should just play the Sam one to not give anything away. So I need to start my recording on Audacity, actually.
Yes, and especially because Audacity had a recent update, so you might need to install an update.
We did. Oh shit! Mine did not prompt an update when I opened it. Maybe it's already updated.
Oh, maybe.
Well, in every case, it'll still record, even if it's not the most recent version, right? It'll be okay.
This is true.
This is true. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Is anybody still in ad land? It said that it was going to start, but it didn't say that it was over. Oh well, it's just the intro. It's fine. Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Ship, the podcast where we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer. I'm Genesis, the girl who wants to say up front that our normal scripts are about 16 to 18 pages long. My girl poured her soul into this one and has 22 pages and had to restrict herself to only 11 clips.
Yes. And I'm Pravada, the girl who has, I guess, a lot to say about tonight's topic.
So, if you're new here, welcome to the beautiful chaos. But you should know that our podcast centers on character and romance analysis and doesn't shy away from exploring the fun of fucking.
Or from the deep emotional connections built between two or more characters using specific in-game dialogue. So if you want to stay spoiler-free, then this is not the podcast for you. And especially this episode in particular for the whole series of Dragon Age. So please do not listen if you don't want to be spoiled.
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
Thanks for the spoiler alert, N7. And just like with all of our previous episodes, we'll assume that you have some background knowledge of the game and character in question, but we'll be providing context for those of you who may be unfamiliar.
Oh my gosh, so excited. Today, we are still in Thetis, but our time there is slowly drawing to a close. We only have 2 more romanceable characters to discuss. I'm so sad. And we saved our personal favorites for last. Today, we're venturing past the waking realm and into the realm of dreams, the Fade, the world beyond the veil that mages tap into for their magic, and that, at least according to the Chantry, is teeming with demons ready to possess unsuspecting mages and run rampant through the tangible world as abominations. There are some mages, apostates if you ask the Chantry, that do not abide by this fear-based use of magic. One in particular has a very intimate understanding of the Fade and the Veil itself. I am So excited to finally be doing this episode. We are talking, of course, about Solas, Fen-Harel, he who hunts alone, the Dreadwolf himself from Dragon Age Inquisition.
I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
Solas. We are going to be discussing Solas from an omniscient point of view. That is, we will discuss him in a way that accounts for his true nature and motivations, or at least what we presently know to be true. Of course, the next game may change what we think we know about this very deceptive elf, but we're going to do our best. When we first meet Solas in Inquisition, he passes himself off as some wandering apostate with a particular fascination and knowledge of the Fade. While this isn't untrue, it isn't the whole truth either. That's something Solas does throughout the game and the all-important Trespasser DLC. Solas lies by omission. He can say he never told you a lie because he only ever offers up a truth that will not reveal himself. But this is still deception. He journeys to the Inquisition to try and help close the breach because he has unique knowledge of the Fade. Or at least that's what he tells you. He actually created the Veil and remembers a time when the separation between the Fade and the waking world didn't exist. The time of the Elvenon and the ancient elves. He is from that time. He is Fen-Harel.
Before he was Fen-Harel, he was just Solas. Usually, we talk about a character's backstory and origins in the beginning of an episode, but today's different. We don't really know how he grew up because it was in a time before Thedas. The world he lived in was starkly different from the one he woke up in centuries later, perhaps thousands of years later. During his time, the Elven lived in constant contact with magic. They did not age, every elf could wield magic, and the Veil did not exist. Spirits lived alongside the elves, or what they called the waking world and dreaming world. The top-tier mages were the Eveneris, what modern elves call gods now. They might as well have been gods for how powerful they were. Of the Eveneris, only one was not greedy and power-mad, according to Solas, Mythal. Mythal and Solas worked on a plan to stop the Eveneris from subjugating their fellow elves. Solas became Fen-Harel, the Dreadwolf. First an insult to him, and later a badge of honor this radical leader wore with pride. Solas used his immense magic skill to lock the Eveneris away behind the Veil, and was immediately thrust into his Uthenera, his long sleep from the power drain.
Years passed. Solas slept all the while. He was not unconscious, though. He was active in the Fade, keeping tabs on the new world through dreams. He did not realize the extent of the Veil's effect on his beloved lands from beyond the Veil in the Fade, however. He could still talk to spirits, still saw magic, and learned about the newer world events from the dreams of the people. Eventually, he woke up from what he calls a dark and dreaming sleep, a year before the breach opened, and when he awoke, he saw his worst nightmare. He had realized with increasing horror that creating the Veil was not the permanent solution he thought it was. And when he went to unlock his orb, the magical artifact that honed his magic, he realized he was too weak to wield it. He left it where Corypheus and the Venatori could find it, and he hoped that they would unlock the magic for him. The shock at the state of the world left Solas feeling that the only choice he had was to try and undo what he had created, to unmake the veil in order to restore the world to what it once was.
Yeah, that's a big mistake Solus made, one of many. Just leaving the orb where Corypheus could find it. Because, Corypheus, he very much underestimated him. Let's just leave it at that. And we still don't have a good answer for what he planned to do about the Evanuris should the veil fall either. Solus says that had he not locked them away, they would have destroyed the world. So this is a valid question. Like, what would have happened if he brought down the veil and they just come back? In their absence and in their place had grown a similar power, the Tevinter Imperium. Much like the Evanuris before them, they were ruled by powerful mages, their society relying on the use of slaves, their cities built upon the bones of Arlethon. Solas was a part of this ancient elven court of mage gods, but he is not remembered fondly. Fen-Harel is the trickster god, and his name is now a curse. May the Dreadwolf take you. May the Dreadwolf never hear your steps. And by the Dreadwolf are often uttered by Dalish elves. Solas can actually only be romanced by an elven inquisitor, and that background is always that of a Dalish elf, Lavellen. Knowing Elvish and modern Elvish culture won't earn you any brownie points with Solas, though.
You are Dalish, are you not?
My people come from the elves who refused to surrender when humans broke their treaty and destroyed the Dales.
Your keeper was not wrong about that, at least. We must mark the occasion of the Dalish remembering something correctly. Perhaps we should plant a tree.
You insult my people.
They insult themselves. Remember, I have walked the memories of the Fade. I have seen the history the Dalish imitate.
The Dalish are trying to restore elven history. If you know something new, share it.
Would your clan listen to what I had learned in my studies? My travels? Or would they mock the Flatir and his stories and go back to their ruins? At least you were asking. But here's something. I will answer as I can.
As he hinted at, Solas's approval can be gained by being inquisitive. But you never really get to inquisit him. Not really. But he looks down on the modern Dalish elves. They remind him of exactly how far the elves have fallen, at least to him. While no modern elf remembers the Elvenon as it was and exactly what the truth is, to how they started aging and why they lost their culture, they wouldn't look at themselves and see disappointment the way that Solas does. He takes it personally because it is personal to him. It's his personal mistake, his own regret. Was it worth it to make the veil and seal away the Evanuris just for yet another empire to come in and snatch their freedom away? Is the world state really any better with the veil in place? There is still slavery, still subjugation of the people, still powerful groups lording their positions above others. Solas created the veil, so in a way, he created abominations. He created the opportunity for darkspawn. He created the blights. We don't usually discuss character flaws this early on, but also the characters aren't normally named for their fatal flaw either. Solas actually means pride in Elvish, and that is his downfall. Another word for it? Hubris.
The whole story about Icarus is him making those wings out of wax and flying too close to the sun. This is like if he did that and then remade the same wings and flew back towards the sun. It's so frustrating. A huge challenge to knowing exactly what his motivations are. is simply that his view on morality is extremely gray. He's so neutral and willing to see all sides to something, as long as it doesn't include taking away the free will of another. That is the one thing he really cannot abide. But as a mage, he doesn't have a strong opinion one way or another on blood magic. He doesn't see spirits as innately harmful or dangerous. And his first tarot card is that of the Hermit, which marks him as separate from the normal machinations of society. The Hermit represents a period of introspection, a time when self-reflection is necessary, but when the card is reversed, it means loneliness, sadness. He has spent his ephemera in the Fade, seeing the multifaceted realities of what happened out there in the waking world. An easy way to earn approval from Solas is to simply be curious and ask questions, which is something I encourage in general, but especially with Solas. He won't let his mask slip without your curiosity and friendship.
Visually, this card features Solas, hooded and cloaked, facing the viewer with a determined yet almost saddened eyes. Half of his face is obscured by his cloak, and in his right hand, he holds a small flame close to his body. His left hand is gently holding his staff upright, and the rest of the card is very dark, with only a halo of light around his head and some intricate magical designs. It shows how the world has really pulled inward and rests in his mind, both from his long sleep in the Fade and from his current world view. I know V has talked many times about Byronic heroes, named for Lord Byron, who wrote many of them. A Byronic hero can be defined as a proud and moody man, defiant and miserable, who scorns others, and yet possesses an undeniable magnetism and is capable of deep and strong affection. Take this example from one of Lord Byron's works called When I Roved a Young Highlander. As the last of my race, I must wither alone, and delight but in days I have witnessed before. Sounds a lot like our boy Solas, huh?
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a young canary working in a simple kitchen, baking bread as she was ordered every morning. In every loaf, she broke the rules. She'd take a pinch of sugar and fold it into the center, like a secret, and this act of small rebellion brought a shining smile across her face.
I love that clip. I love all his stories about the Fade. Jen wrote me a note in her script, actually, saying she had to just, quote, trust me on the why for why I wanted this clip in here. The why is simply that I liked that this is something worth telling the Inquisitor to Solas. This is a memory he deemed important. What a simple memory. And yet he highlighted it for you because it shows what he values most: rebellion, free will, self-determination. This ideal was the basis of his becoming Fen'Harel in the first place. He has started in such a well-meaning and honorable place. But now, like with Anders, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Solas is a Byronic hero for sure. Someone who is good but feels desperately inclined or forced to do bad things, deeming them necessary. A radical who possesses a rich inner world, if only you're willing to see it. Lavellen is that special person who can. As the Hermit, he is also wearing a mask, hiding his true nature. But we can catch glimpses of what life in endless dreaming sleep must have been like.
In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelan fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Not only is this clip cool because it calls back to the Battle of Ostagar and Dragon Age Origins, When when Terran Logain pulled his army back and King Kalen and the Wardens were all wiped out. But it is also Solas literally telling you a truth about him. The Fade. In the Fade, all things are real because all feelings are valid. What he watched through his thousands of years of dreaming sleep were not historical record of events, but memories. The spirits reacted to the emotions, and in places with intense emotions, those images burn all the brighter. The Fade is a land of dreams, not reality. Solas could manipulate it to his will and see what he wanted to see, not necessarily the truth. Of course, when he awoke to a foreign, alien world after thousands of years of being a god in a dreamscape, he would be coming in hot with the superiority complex. This is not an excuse, but a reason. We cannot discuss this romance without also discussing Solas's ultimate goal, bringing down the veil.
Mm-hmm. Solas will be bitter and resentful towards the mages and elves of modern day, and sees most people as just ignorant children bickering over black and white scenarios. Mages versus Templars, spirits versus demons, elves versus humans, etc. He says he had tried to reach out to the Dalish elves and others to teach and to help, but was derided for his efforts, being called a liar and a madman. He's not usually a liar, but is he mad? I think he might be, a little. After all that time stuck in the Fade, after waking to see elves like Sarah shirking their heritage, or worse, elves pushed to the wildlands, clinging to false memories of their heritage. He must have gone mad with grief, with guilt and shame at the state of the world he created. Of course, he would believe the only way to fix it is to undo what he did. It's in hushed whispers all over again. All that matters is resetting the world to before the mistake, to making it right. This is a big criticism of Solas that I've seen a lot online. People have often called him racist because of the remarks he says about other races in Dragon Age, like Kunari and dwarves. And while they're not nice, I don't think it's racism per se, so much as just a general belief that no one currently is real. No one now is worth what once was, until Lavellan.
I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts. I tried and failed. No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand and grow, resigned myself to flee, and then... It seems you hold the key to our salvation. You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
Felt the whole world change?
A figure of speech.
I'm aware of the metaphor. I'm more interested in felt.
You change everything.
Sweet talker.
We shouldn't. It isn't right. Not even here.
What do you mean, even here?
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
Well, shit. I didn't think he had it in him. But damn, Egghead can kiss. By calling him a sweet talker, you initiate a kiss by turning his face towards yours. The Inquisitor begins to back up, but there is a sultry as hell look on Solas's face. He then grabs you by the waist and gives you a backbreaker. one of those passionate kisses that is so full-bodied that you start to bend backwards by the sheer force of will being imposed on you. He pulls back to let you breathe, and he shakes his head and what? He wants more. Another quick kiss just to leave the lingering idea in your mind, because this wasn't real. Well, that's debatable, but still, it's actually a little sad that the first time he's truly seen someone worthy of note in this new world, he can still only comfortably interact with her from within the Fade. It's where he feels the most himself.
I obviously love this scene. Yes, to everything you said. I love that there is an element of the chase here, of daring him to act. It's something that isn't really present in the other romances so much, because he's pulling away. Obviously, we know why now, but I certainly didn't when I first saw this scene more than 10 years ago. Or 10 years ago, I guess, almost. It came out in 2014, right? Yeah. It's as if Llewellyn is able to see past Solas's carefully crafted exterior all along. Not enough to see that he is literally Fen'Harel, because why would she? But enough that she can see his obvious attraction to her. But he doesn't do anything, so she swoops in. She physically turns his head when he's looking off in the middle distance dramatically, trying to separate himself, even in the Fade, and she kisses him first. The camera angle conveys this too, at first pointing at Solas from behind her back, but then shifting to behind Solas as he kisses her. His body nearly engulfs hers, which is a feat, considering Solas is no Iron Bull. But I think it's alluding to the power dynamics here. Some have said that Solas cannot romance Llewellyn, like ethically, because he's far older, wiser, and just more. I think they still can, and I will explain in more detail later. It's fine if you don't think so, but I think they can. I think Llewellyn holds an immense power over Solas that he never anticipated, and ultimately it is great enough that he must push her away. It frightens him, but we'll get there. We're not there yet.
I will also talk about the power dynamics here, but from a much different standpoint than V. Solas's personal quest is called All New, Faded for Her, and I just love that title. And it requires the Inquisitor to track down one of Solas's friends, a spirit of wisdom. The spirit has been summoned against its wishes and from the Fade, and Solas wants to help it before it could become a demon. When we arrive at the location of the spirit, we find it has been made into a pride demon. Some mages summon the spirit to protect them from bandits. And being twisted against its pure, true purpose of wisdom, it became a demon. That's how demons are made, according to Solas. Spirits don't want to become demons, but they are affected by the emotions of mortals, and mages especially, who hold the power over the spirits through magic. The best way to finish this quest is to get rid of the binding pillars, to revert the demon back into its true form as a spirit of wisdom, so Solas can say goodbye.
It's really sad. He will head back to Skyhold on his own to mourn his loss. But Llewellyn can seek him out and assure him that he no longer has to be alone if he doesn't want to. He has friends now, which is important, I think, to note. Llewellyn doesn't become the only person he sees as a person, as real, but he has such a good friendship with so many of them. He doesn't seem totally aware of this, even as he pleasantly agrees with her. I personally think that Solas doesn't really understand at this point that this is the real world. Having dreamed for so long, I think at first he believes this is just one horrifying possibility for the world that he can correct. Haven't we already seen that just in this game alone? Magic is immense power, and Alexia showed us that through time travel, what a world would be like when the breach opened up fully, just a year in the future. Doesn't Solas just think this is one dream within a dream? Does any choice have that much consequence? Does any life hold value when it's not actually real? After millennia of darkness, his heart full of guilt and fatalistic determination, he sees her. Perhaps this doomed world, a world of tranquil to him, isn't all bad after all.
What were you like before the anchor? Has it affected you? Changed you in any way? Your mind? Your morals? Your spirit?
I don't believe so.
Ah,
Why do you ask?
you show a wisdom I have not seen since my deepest journeys into the ancient memories of the Fade. You are not what I expected.
What have I done that's so surprising?
You have shown subtlety in your actions. A wisdom that goes against everything I expected. If the Dalish could raise someone with a spirit like yours, have I misjudged them?
The Dalish didn't make me like this. The decisions were mine.
Yes, you are wise to give yourself that due. Although the Dalish, in their fashion, may still have guided you. Perhaps that is it. I suppose it must be. Most people act with so little understanding of the world. But not you.
So what does this mean, Solas?
It means I have not forgotten the kiss.
Good. Don't go.
It would be kinder in the long run. But losing you would... Arlath Mavanan.
There is a subtle dominance to Solas that is hitting some buttons. Now, the way that he hugs you, the way that he pulls you in, his arms go over yours, pinning your elbows to your own ribs. Uh-oh. Oh,
It wasn't me for once.
yeah, no, it was me. Are we still
It's
live?
frozen.
No.
Yeah.